All right, welcome back to my series about The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron. And we are now in week one, which is all about recovering a sense of safety. And so last week I read the first chapter and went through all the tasks. And now I'm coming back with my review, with my experience of that first week. And I first want to just give you an overview of what I found interesting in the chapter, and then kind of my own experience of going through the tasks and what I've kind of, what helped me, what maybe wasn't so helpful. And that is what we're doing today. The reading in this chapter and the tasks are all designed to help you recover a sense of safety and approach your creativity with less fear, which I think is something very useful, of course. And reading through the first chapter for me, she talked a lot about how to get on your artist journey, or how we sometimes keep ourselves from going on that artist journey, right? We are not encouraged early enough to follow our dreams from our parents, from our environment, or we see other people be really good at, the artist approach, but then we tell ourselves, well, we could never be that. So we maybe support them, but we don't support ourselves. So it is about recognizing that every person can take that it is important to take a leap. And sometimes we are taught to believe that we can either be successful or have a good, private life, or have a good mental health, and that we can't have both. And there's a really great reminder that it is possible to have both. Then that we are sometimes pushed into other work fields of work. So, someone who's good at writing maybe becomes a lawyer, or we are pushed into marketing, into a corporate job, and that's not really who we are, and that's just something we encourage us, get a real job, and that that there are other possibilities. And she just kind of talks about that and other people's experiences. And then she mentions that the artists the artist is a child. So we need to protect that inner child, that artist child, and we need to nourish it. Then she talks about negative beliefs and affirmations, and the affirmations help you to create a sense of safety and create hope. And negative beliefs and affirmations is something that I've worked with in the past, and a lot of things she mentioned in this chapter wasn't that much new information for me. So when I started reading it, I was like, is this chapter really for me? But as I kept reading on, there were a couple of pieces of information that I needed to be reminded of. And then the thing about negative beliefs and how to uncover cover them, she showed me a different way how to do it, and a more quicker and efficient way, and I love that. So she says, write down your positive affirmation, which is, I'm a wonderful creative. And then as you write that down 10 times, there'll be thoughts in your head, which she calls blurs. And these blurs are kind of those negative beliefs, and you write those down. And then you go back to those and you create a positive affirmation of them. So if it's like, well, that's not true, well, that's bullshit, and you're just like, yeah, that's true, that I'm a great creative. And that is a really great approach for quickly uncovering negative beliefs, I found personally. And then there were a couple of sentences, pieces of information that I wanted to highlight that really resonated with me. So maybe they will resonate with you as well. And the first one was, there's just this dream, this feeling, this urge, this desire. And for me, that was a reminder of sometimes when people ask me, well, why do you want to be an artist? Why do you want to be an actor, Clara? And of course, there's reasons I can name, that deep down there's just this feeling, and I can't really describe it, but it's there. It is this desire, and it's been there for as long as I can think of. So it was a wonderful reminder that I'm not crazy, and other people feel this too. And that's the wonderful thing about reading books, that they remind you that you're not alone, and that other people have had this experience as well. And I think it just confirms that, for me, I'm following the right thing. You don't always need to fully name why you're doing something. It is fully okay to just have this feeling, to just have this passion, and let that be your guide. Then, yeah, remember your artist is a child, which was a good reminder for myself. How do you talk to a child? How do you care for a child? And I think there's a good reminder to be kinder to yourself, because the more you follow your artist journey, you're not always kind to yourself. And in connection with that, I'm sorry, the book is making noises. Judging your early artistic efforts is artist abuse. So, the first painting you create, the first audition you go to, the first monologue you upload, which you can still see on my page, I think, that might not be that great. But, and another thing she says, progress, not perfection, is what we should be asking of ourselves. And if I look at my first monologue that I've uploaded on YouTube and the last few ones, there's progress. There's huge progress. And that is what I should be striving for. That is what we should all be striving for. And it is so much kinder for us, and so much more lovely. And it takes pressure off. And when you take pressure off, you create better work. At least that's my experience. And then it's possible to be both. I fully believe it is possible to have many things at the same time, and it is okay to want all these things at the same time. Okay, and that's everything she talked about in the chapter. And now I want to look at the tasks. Of course, the tasks were first the morning pages, writing down the morning pages, and this week she wanted to incorporate that you write the affirmation out and then write down the blurbs and then create new positive affirmations to change your core beliefs and take yourself on an artist date. So those are the two kind of repeating things that you do every week. I did the morning pages every single day, and I did the affirmations almost every single day. It was really interesting to looking at my negative beliefs, and as the week went on, they became less and less, which was also really cool to see. And I also took myself on an artist date. I did a float, and that was really lovely on that day. It wasn't feeling my best, so I did the float and I felt so much better afterwards. It gave me back so much energy because I was just feeling tired. And then in the evening, I even went, which is something I do more regularly, is to go and do breath work. And I always feel a lot of resistance beforehand and this time as well, but it was, again, so good. I can highly recommend breath work. Also, going to a float. And yeah, that was a really lovely outer state. Like, it really helped clear my head. It was like a spring clean. That's what it felt like. And for the morning pages, every morning I've been doing it. It feels good. It sometimes feels tedious, or especially in the beginning, but by the third page I'm actually really into it, and it's like, oh yeah, this is fun. But also probably knowing that it's almost over, that I've almost done the task, right? And I've had one morning where it felt really unhinged what I wrote down on the page, but it felt so freeing, and I felt like, oh, I don't always need to have just, positive thoughts and be, have lovely and nice thoughts. And it's good to just get every thought out on the page. And that actually helped me feel more like myself, feel a bit unhinged, but I don't know, in a positive way. And it felt really freeing. And I think that was kind of a glimpse, a preview of what these pages can do. It's just been a week, so I haven't seen, life-changing progress at this stage, but there's definitely something there that I want to follow. And it is just a task you have to do every morning. And then there were a couple more other tasks, and I chose 3 of those. The first one was write a letter to yourself, write a letter in a defense for yourself, and talk about someone who's wronged you in the past or said something that maybe kind of dimmed your artist light. So I did that, which was really interesting. Then I did pick 3 champions, like go through that history of like 3 people or situations that have encouraged you on your artist journey, which was really lovely. For me, it was less than like something specific someone said, but people just showing up for you. And then another one which I found really interesting was write down 5 different lives that you could have lived and have fun in them if you're not having that much fun in this life. But for me, that exercise, I didn't manage to write down 5 lives. I wrote down 3 because I really felt I am happy with the things I've chosen and the path I've chosen, the path I'm following. Then part of the exercise was then pick one of the thing that you can pick from those careers. So I like writing my own songs, but I haven't done that in a while. So I was like, oh, maybe I write a song. So I wrote like lyrics down, and that felt really lovely. And so yeah, there was definitely something there. I didn't feel that much change. Sometimes change takes a bit longer. And yeah, so far, so good. It is something you have to stick to. It is not easy. But what really helps is recording these videos, to be honest, because that keeps me honest and that keeps me accountable. So I want to show up for myself, but I also want to show up for you. And that is really what, can really encourage me to keep going. And that is everything from week 1. And next up, I'm going to read the second chapter, week 2, which is all about recovering a sense of identity. And that's it. I had, although, a thing that I was thinking about while I was writing my morning pages this morning, which was a friend of mine gave me an angel card deck. So I thought maybe I'll just pick a card at the end of this video for myself, but also maybe for you. I'll just pick it. Okay, so here's the deck. Let's just open it. That will help us in the second week. Trust the universe. So what it says here in this little booklet is, although your faith may be challenged now, trust the universe. So just trust the flow, and there is no such thing as chance. All is well, all is guided. If you lose an opportunity or feel you have been shut down, know that it is the work, of the universe, and it's the right thing for you. Yeah, I think that's a good reminder. Let's see what comes up in the second week that I need to hear this and remind myself of this. And yeah, this was fun. Thank you for spending time with me, and I see you next week. Bye.